Good morning, students. Today we are going to see Standard 7th Civics, Chapter number 6, Directive Principles of State Policy and Fundamental Duties. In last two chapters, we studied the fundamental rights guaranteed by our Constitution. We learned what rights Indian citizens enjoy. We also learned that our rights have judicial protection. We understood the importance of fundamental rights in our individual and public lives. With this background, we shall now understand what the directive principles of state policy are. Fundamental rights put restriction on the power of the government. A few such restrictions upon the state are listed below. First one, state shall not discriminate between and among citizens on the basis of caste, religion, race, language or sex. So, this is the work of the government, that the government should not discriminate between the people on the basis of caste, religion, race, language or sex. State shall not deny anybody equality before the law and equal protection of the law. So, the state should not have to deny anybody about their equality and should not try to remove their law, and they have to protect equally in front of the law. Means law protection should be provided to the public. No person shall be deprived of his life. So whatever we want, according to that our life should be spent. No any restrictions of any person or no any overburden on the life shall be done by any person. State shall not impose any religious taxes. So there should not be any religious taxes. The Constitution has given express instructions to the state about what policies it should undertake. This is in the nature of giving directives or guidelines about how to achieve the goals expressed in the preamble. Hence, they are called as directive principles of state policy. As the directive principles, which are the directive principles, are mentioned in the preamble. That is the goal of our life or our constitution, that to provide the directive principles to each and every person of the country, and which becomes a guideline to achieve our life and to make it as a successful life. Why were the directives included? When India won independence, we faced a great challenge of establishing order and carrying out smooth administration. Eradication of poverty, backwardness and illiteracy had to be urgently pursued. So, after when we got the independence, and after the independence we had faced many challenges, many problems we had faced, and under it, the main problem was of carrying out smooth administration in our country and to remove the poverty and backwardness and illiteracy was become a urgent call for the government to remove it as soon as possible. So this was the problems that we were facing after the independence. The task of nation building had to be undertaken. For this, new policies had to be drawn up as to remove all these unwanted things from the country. It was needed to create our own country with a constitution or with the directive principles. The task of nation building had to be undertaken. For this, new policies had to be drawn up and their implementation had to be undertaken. So it was needed to make our own country as able country, new policies to be opened and to be drawn up with the public, and implementation of the public should be done as soon as possible to run our country in a smooth way. The goal of people's welfare had to be achieved. In short, India had to be transformed into a developed and progressive nation. So as what? Due to this directive principles and due to the people's welfare had been achieved with the goal of the people's welfare activities. And in a short time, we, the Indian people, we are moving towards the development process and our nation is moving towards the development. The Constitution has specified the subject to which the union and state government should give priority in their policies for people's welfare through the directive principles of state policy. So some are the rights which are to be given to each and every person of the country by state government and the union government. So this all are the policies which are known as the directive principles of our state policy. Each directive contains a subject for the state policy. The makers of the Indian Constitution had realized that it would require a lot of resource if all these policies were to be implemented at the same time. So, as government, after the independence, they thought that we need, as to build our country, it is needed to have a directive principles. But all the directive principles, if we will allot, it will be difficult to people to understand it. So, one by one policies, it had been implemented for the public of our country. That is the reason why they did not make the directive binding upon the state like the fundamental rights. They expected that states should implement them slowly and steadily. So, the fundamental rights which are to be provided to each and every person should be given slowly and steadily, so that we can come to know that whether the policies or whether the fundamental right is working or not. Some important directive principles of the state policy. First one, the state should secure adequate means of livelihood to all citizens without any gender discrimination. So, whatever the livelihood is needed to make our life successful, that should be provided without making any gender discrimination. The state should secure equal pay for equal work for both men and women. This is another fundamental right or directive principle of state policy, that each person should be paid equally for the equal work, whether he will be man or whether he will be a woman. The state should secure the improvement of public health. So we have to secure we have to, to improve our health, we have to take care of our public health should be implemented, and improvement of public health should be provided to each and every person. Not to do that one section of the country should be clean and another section should be lived as it is. So each and every part of our country is important, each and every section of the public is important for the government. So to safeguard a good health to each and every person of the country. The state shall endure to protect and improve the environment and safeguard the forest and wildlife of the country. So this is the duty of the government, that we have to protect and we have to improve our environment, and we have to take care of our environment and forest and wildlife of the country. The state shall protect all monuments and historic interest and national importance. So we have to protect our monuments and historical interest and national importance. So this is our directive principle of our state policy, and important one. The state shall promote with special care the educational and economic interest of the weaker section of the people, especially the scheduled caste and tribes. So all the sections should get education, each and every person have the right of education. So under it, we have to take care that each and every section should be educated, so that we can move towards our development process. The state shall offer public assistance to citizens in cases of unemployment, old age, sickness, etc. So, if that they shall offer public assistance to citizens in case of unemployment, means if there is no any job opportunities and the old age persons or sickness, in that situation, the government have to provide some policies, so that they can be, some offers should be given for the public, so that no any burden should be on the public life and they can enjoy the life easily. The state shall secure a uniform civil code applicable to the entire country. So uniformity should be maintained between the civil code, so that it will be easy that not to have any discrimination between the public. Can you tell? There is a directive to ensure equal pay for equal work. Which principle and ideals of the Constitution will be realized with this directive? Why does it happen that in spite of doing the same work, women are paid less than men. Here, the directive to ensure equal pay for equal work seems to realize the principles and ideals of justice, liberty and equality as mentioned in the Indian Constitution. And under this, even today we find cases where in spite of doing the same work, women are paid less than men. This is because of the regressive attitude of the society towards women. Indian society is still patriarchal. A man who is considered as the breadwinner of the household, while a woman who earns is considered to only support the household. So this should not be happen. But this scenario is changing slowly. Women do the same work as men and earn the same amount as them, enabling them to contribute equally to the household work. Women have proved their mettle in every sphere of the life and have even outshined men. Means that women are not less than the men's that they are showing in the government, as not only in the government system but also in every field we can see that the men and women are treated equally. Do this. Apart from the above directives, there are other that specify what the state should do in order to bring about the welfare of the people. A few issues have been listed below. Find out the directive that is relevant in this context with the people of your teacher. For example, foreign policy. It should be the policy of the state to secure the promotion of international peace and security. Girls' education. Under this girls' education, the state should promote the education interest of women without any gender discrimination. So, without any gender discrimination, the girls should be given education. Second, upbringing of children in a healthy and happy atmosphere. So, under this upbringing of the children in a healthy and happy atmosphere, the state should strive to ensure that every child gets its inherent rights to enjoy a healthy and happy childhood. So, the state should endeavor to prohibit and eradicate all kinds of practices harmful to the health and well-being, survival and development of children, boys as well as girls. Third, improvement in agriculture. The state shall endeavor to organize the agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines and shall in particular take steps of preserving and improving the breeds and prohibiting the slaughters of other mentions, animals and cattle, so that the development can be taken easily and no any discrimination will be found between the social life of the public. Next, directive principles of state policy. And fundamental rights are two sides of the same coin. Due to fundamental rights, citizens get the most needed liberty, while directive principles of state policy create an atmosphere conducive to the growth of democracy. Means what? What is democracy? Democracy is to the people, by the people and for the people. Whatever it will work only and only for the public. Even though we cannot go to the courts if a directive is not implemented by the government, we can put pressure on the government in various ways to make policies in order to meet these goals. If the goal of the government is not working properly, in that case, we as a society member, we can arouse a voice, and against to that, we can take that to the government offices. So, if the pressure will be given on the government, new policies will be given, and according to that order, the goals of our will be completed and the policies will be reached to each and every person in society. What else do you think the government should do for student? Make a list of your demands. How would you convince others that your demands are just? So the government should arrange proper transport in place of rural India, where the schools are far away from the students' residence and the students have to walk over 5 to 6 kilometers in order to reach the schools. So the arrangement should be made by the government. The government should provide books for the school libraries at discounted prices in order to cultivate the habit of reading in the student. So these are the 2 points from my side. If you feel some other demands, you can please note down it in your classwork. Which improvements will be possible with the following facilities offered by the government? Public toilets. This will eradicate open defecation and will improve overall public health. People who do not have toilets at their home will be benefited from this. This in turn will create public awareness also. Also, the availability of toilets at close proximity to highway will ensure that people do not face inconvenience while traveling. Clean water supply. Water is our basic need. Hence, providing clean water is very important. It will prevent the spread of waterborne diseases like cholera, jaundice, etc. Vaccination of children. It will improve the health of the infants of our country. It will reduce the occurrence of disease like polio in infants, thereby reducing the mortality rate in India in small babies. To make the future generation of our country strong and healthy, it is imperative to vaccinate the children against such diseases. So vaccination is also important. Let's see the fundamental duties. In a democracy, citizens have a dual responsibility. They should not only be vigilant that their rights are not unfairly restricted, but should also fulfill some duties and responsibilities. As in democracy, the citizens have a dual responsibility. We should not have to be only vigilant that the rights are not only fairly restricted to us only, but it should be implemented to each and every person. It is our responsibility and duty to take the benefit of all these policies or all this benefit. The Constitution has made several provisions through the fundamental rights and the directive principles of state policy for the people's welfare. So these directive principles and fundamental rights are only and only for the public. So we have to take care of this fundamental rights and directive principles, and we have to enjoy our rights in our day-to-day life. The benefits of the various schemes of the government cannot reach all the people if they do not fulfill their fundamental duties. Whatever the policies, whatever the schemes will be provided by the government, it will not reach up to the public if the fundamental rights are not fulfilled properly. For example, the government has implemented several projects under its Swachh Bharat scheme, but people too need to change their habits that make public place dirty. As we see many times out beside our house, that as we are having the Swachh Bharat scheme, under that we are having a Ghanta Gadi. Under that, the collection of dry and wet garbage is done separately. But now a time also, the public they are not doing the or performing it as a responsible one, and the rule which was made by the government is not implemented by the public properly, due to which the right the government want to give to us, it is not implementing properly by the public. So it becoming difficult for the public to suffer or to secure their life or to have a good and healthy environment due to dirty environment. In order that the Indian citizens become conscious of the responsibilities, so we have to conscious about our responsibilities, then only the Indian citizens or Indian public will be good, and the country will move towards the development process, and one day the government or our country will be a developed country. As due to some measures and due to some problems, our country is still in a developing process. The fundamental duties of the Indian citizens are as follows: to abide by the Constitution and respect the national flag and the national anthem. Yes, this is the fundamental duty, that we have to respect our Constitution, we have to respect our national flag, and we have to respect to our national anthem. This is the fundamental duties which each and every Indian citizen have to follow. To cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. So as the things or the people who had sacrificed their life for our country, we should not have to forget their struggle for the country and their struggle for the freedom of our country. And we have to inspire the people. We have to inspire our people to be a noble and to be an ideal person. Should be treated, a good treatment should be given to them. To uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. So we have to protect the sovereignty and the unity. We have to maintain peace in country. We have to unitedly, we have to stay in our country so that our country will be a healthy and happy country. To defend the country and to render national services when called upon to do so. If country needed more power at that time, we have to be ready to sacrifice our life. To promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood transcending diversities, to renounce practice derogatory to the dignity of women. So as what, we should not pretend any woman. We have to take care of that. We have to give respect to women, and we all are as a brother and sister. We have to treat each and every person in the society. To value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. So whatever the nature or whatever we had got from our ancestors, we have to take care of it because it is the heritage of our country. To protect and improve the natural environment and to have compassion for living creatures. So as what, not only we have to protect our natural environment, but what we have to take care of animals also, because they are not able like humans or human beings to think. So we have to take care of them also. Each living creature should be taken care by the human being. A boy scribbling on a historical structure. So this is not a good conduct. This is a bad work. Next, damaging a public bus. So this should not be happen. Hanging lemon chilies. This is a superstitious thinking. So we have to remove this type of superstitious thinking from our country. Hanging any lemon or chili, it is not a good one, or it will not give any positivity to your house. So this is superstitious thinking. A woman emptying a garbage can on the street. So this is a very bad habit that each woman or each person have to protect our country from being spoiled. We have to protect our country so that each person will enjoy life, a healthy life. Which of the fundamental duties are not being followed in the situation above? So here what we have to do, we should not scribble anything on or we should not have to write anything on the historical structures, because they are important for us and we have to keep it for our next generation also. Damaging a public bus. So we should not have to damage any public bus for any demand. We have to contact to a government, or by other ways we have to contact to our government. We should not harm any public services. Hanging lemon and chili. This is one of the thing of superstitious thinking. Garbage should not be thrown on the street. Wherever the depositions are given, at that places only the garbage should be deposited. The river in our village does not look like a river at all. What an amount of plastic waste. Even if anybody tells me, I will never throw any waste in the river. So these are the few talks of few children's. Which duties are reflected in the dialogue above? Is there a relation between rights and duties? What do you think happen when we follow our duties? According to this, we have to find out. Another, that is all right, but what to do about those deafening sounds? People just don't seem to realize that things while celebrating festivals. We should also be insistent on our responsibilities as citizens. It is our duty to protect the resources and public property of our country. Let us start step by step. Let us make a few resolutions. Let us tell girls and boys to go to school. Let us use the different facilities in school responsibly. Let us be proud of our country. Let us participate in the festivals of different religions. Let us celebrate them by avoiding pollution of the environment. Let us use public facilities properly and take good care of the same. Let us perform all the tasks that we have undertaken honestly, always striving for excellence. So, which duties are reflected in the dialogue above? Is there a relation between rights and duties? What do you think happens when we follow our duties? So, under this, one should protect and improve the natural environment. One should have to safeguard the public property. Every parent and guardian should provide opportunities for education to girls and boys also between the age of 6 to 14 years. One should cherish and follow the noble ideals while inspired of a national struggle for freedom. One should strive towards excellence in all sphere of individual and collective activity. So this all are the duties and responsibility should be followed by each and every person of the country. What do you think? Girls and boys between the age 6 and 14 have got the right to education. All the girls and boys in this age group should be in school. Yet many girls and boys are not able to go to school because of many reasons. They have to work to help their parents earn a living for the family. Do you think that it is unfair to such children to insist that they go to school? No, I do not think that it is unfair to such children to insist that they go to school. Though the students have to take up the family responsibilities, they can attend night school and complete their basic education. Sometimes these students lack the motivation to study. Parents of such children should be explained the importance of education and should be made aware of the free education made available to them by the government. Also, if the education system is made flexible enough to accommodate them, such students will also be able to attend school and get educated. At the beginning of the civic sections, we got introduced to the goals and characteristic features of the Indian Constitution. We also considered the rights of the Indian citizens and the legal protection guaranteed to these rights by the Constitution. We understood the directive principles and state policy of the fundamental duties and Indian citizen. Next year, we shall study the administration of our country. So, how our country administrate, that we are going to see in the 7th standard. So, up to this, we had studied about what is Constitution, what is our Indian Constitution, what is the features and characteristics of the Indian Constitution, how the Indian citizens and the legal protections guaranteed the rights to the Constitution, and what are our directive principles and what are the state policies. That all points from first lesson to 6 lessons we had seen. So in this way, the portion of civics we had complete. Complete the given exercise and read the chapter once again. That's all for today. Thank you.